And we're rolling.
Hi, everybody. We're back.
Good to be back, Lee.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend. We're all through it. And last week,
Yeah.
here we are. Here's the big kitty. Here's the flea toy.
He's got a new toy. All right.
Yeah, he's afraid of it. He relates it to the flea medicine. I shouldn't have done that. He was loving the toy.
Okay.
And then I squirted him with flea medicine. Now he relates the flea medicine to the toy, and he's just paranoid of it.
And that's the kind you spray on the back of their neck?
Squirt on the neck, yeah.
Gotcha. Keeps the fleas off him.
Anyway, the kitty's not happy. He's got flea medicine. I'm happy. I'm here. So we've been talking about the podcast.
Yep.
And it is what it is.
Yeah, we're trying to brainstorm some possible avenues we could go or other format types.
What?
We were brainstorming other format types and ideas.
You silly boy. Oh, the kitty's afraid of the thing. Come up here. Come up here. So I've been thinking a lot about the podcast. We aren't growing very fast. And it probably has to do with the fact that we're not very interesting. I mean,
right.
How else do you...
It's got to be it.
After 100 episodes and nobody's watching, well, 300 people have subscribed. We have to regroup, reconsider our topics.
Sure, yeah.
Plus, I'm out of stories. I told all my rock and roll stories that are any good.
Right.
I mean, I have a few others, but they're sort of the same.
There's the idea to have more guests come on and talk to them and pick their brain.
And then I think about that. I think like I could have music guests on, or guests on of any kind.
Right. It could help keep it fresh. That's one way you can get more longevity out of it by having different stories. So it's like a never-ending cycle of stories and perspectives instead of having it all on your shoulders to tell the stories. Yeah.
The trouble is, I watch these guys. I don't know if I'll be a good host. Like I watch people and yeah, I don't know that I'm that interested in what everybody has to say. Like, well, maybe people fake it. Maybe are they really interested in everything all their guests have to say? Like, I could have music guests on, different musicians and stuff, but I'm really not interested in that.
Maybe it's about pulling something interesting out of them, and then you might find yourself interested by something you may have gotten them to say. And
I've seen a lot of interviews with musicians.
Yeah.
They're pretty one-dimensional. Well, maybe that's on purpose. Maybe they're just talking about the music or... I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, everybody. I'm not sure. Just not sure.
We could have some aspiring comedians come on the show and say some funny stories and break each other's balls,
Yeah.
That's something that's pretty popular in podcasting. You see a lot of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's also the reaction format where we could play a video, we can react to it and give our thoughts on something we saw.
Talk shit about people?
Right. Well, not necessarily, just to provide your opinion on if you think, oh, that's a bullshit video, or that looks interesting, that's compelling.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I also like the idea of extraordinary claims, where people have a crazy claim of something unbelievable that happened, that seems like there's no way it could happen. And even if whether they're telling the truth or they're full of shit, it doesn't really matter. Maybe they can just say something crazy and funny that can get a reaction. Like, oh, I swear I saw Bigfoot. He appears in my backyard once a month, and he speaks to me in English. Something crazy like that. It could be compelling to pick someone's brain about that. Or that's just one example. Alien abductions or paranormal experiences, ghosts. And you have your out-of-body experience, which I find fascinating as well. So that's a direction I think it was interesting, and that's something that I could see us asking a lot of questions about because it's compelling and it's interesting.
Yeah.
Fantastical element.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Dead air.
Yeah. Like I watch a lot of podcasts myself, and most of them are sort of political. It's hard to find anything that isn't political unless you look at the Bigfoot things or
Right.
There's some guys that have really good channels for like telling stories about paranormal activities and stuff.
Right.
And they're really good at it, and they have endless resources. People send them stories, and
Right.
I mean, I don't think I could do it as good as they do it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's guys doing that are real good at it.
Yeah.
It's just like politics. There's guys doing politics that are so good at it,
Right.
and they're really good at it. I don't think I'd be good at that. And
Right.
I don't know if I'd be good at interviewing people either. Like, you have to be interested in them.
Maybe it's just a matter of asking them one question in the beginning and letting them kind of talk, and then just interrupt them whenever you want and just say, hey, wait a minute, what's that? What do you mean by that? Oh, okay. And you have to not to say too much. You can just kind of interject.
I have the feeling when I watch people's podcasts that they are interested in their guests.
Right.
But I have to be honest and say I don't know if I'm that interested in everybody else.
I see. Maybe it's in our best interest to be interested in other people.
Well, it would be, yes, if that's what... I don't know. Like I say, I'm not sure I'm the best host. I'm good at telling my stories.
Right. I could always help you with the question. We could always like kind of double team them on questions. They're like in the hot seat, and we like a question from this end, question from that end. It splits up the workload.
Yeah.
I'm just brainstorming here, trying to.
Yeah.
Today in the hot seat, we have so-and-so. He told us some crazy shit, and we're going to grill him about it because it sounds unbelievable. Yada, yada, yada.
God, I'm sweating. We were just outside. My friend Bobby brought by his new car to show us, and the sun was shining, and he was telling us the longest story.
Yeah.
And I was just out there sweating. I finally go, Bobby, I can't take it. Park and come in. He didn't want to come in. He wanted to take his dog somewhere.
Yeah, he had the new 2025 Camry, right? Looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Futuristic.
Yeah. Hot dog Bobby. So, I don't know, everybody.
What about your out-of-body experience? When are we going to go test that out? I want to sit in the chair and see if I can exit my body. When do we start that?
Yeah, we should call those people this week.
Yeah.
I'll call them, I guess. I just don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know.
Maybe you and I could debate on certain topics that we think of before the show and have our little notes and have like a funny kind of lighthearted debate about stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like pineapple on pizza. What's your stance on pineapple on pizza? We might have differing opinions, and we could have a fun debate and sort of drag that out into a funny conversation, perhaps.
Pineapple and pizza. Very heavy topics. We're bound to get lots of viewers for that. I like that. Anything that's bullshit. The kitty's really upset about everything. Come here. Come up here. I'm so sorry. I ruined his trip. I bought him that toy. I thought he'd be, and he was so happy when he got it. He was rolling all around. And the second I put the flu medicine on him, he was so upset. And he related it to the toy. Now he doesn't like the toy.
Shit.
I
Yeah.
really blew it.
It was guilty by association.
Yeah. Come here. Come up here. Come here. Nope. He's not. He's just like I am today. He's indifferent to the podcast.
What about, you have a friend who's deep into conspiracy theories, right? What about talking to him? Maybe he can send you some
Who's
topics. I forget his name. Was he, he's the one who, I think he met Trump, right? Didn't he meet Trump?
Oh,
Is he the conspiracy
he won't
guy?
talk about. He's the most. He won't talk to anybody. He's the guy that hung up when he found out I was on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
When he called and I was on the podcast, and said, I'm podcasting right now, and he just hung up.
Yeah.
He would never ever.
Well, what about like talking to him before the podcast, and you can just write down some ideas and then can talk about it.
I'm so glad you're here.
Conspiracies are fun, right?
Yeah,
They're fun.
he's the wrong guy for that. He wouldn't do that. And he's totally paranoid.
That's too bad.
You silly boy.
I don't really believe in too many conspiracies, but I do like to speculate and just imagine and talk
I think
about
it's
it.
funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, yeah.
People think of some shit, man.
Yeah. There's a whole Antarctica thing where they believe there's some lost civilization under the ice. And
Maybe there is one there.
yeah.
You think there is?
It's really compelling. You know, they have the Antarctica Treaty where like no country is allowed to go there. You have to have
Something's
special,
up there, right?
Yeah, like no one's allowed to, and they've all agreed on it. It's as if they experienced something so horrifying there that everyone's like, "Whoa, hands off Antarctica! We don't want to fuck with that." There's some horrific shit happening there. It was like when Buzz Aldrin went to Antarctica, he had a heart attack, and then they were looking at stuff. There was like this giant pyramid-looking mountain that was like geometrically like a pyramid. And he had a heart attack and then tweeted something very cryptic. Like he said, it was pure evil. You know, we were all in danger. And then he deleted the tweet. So that's just a funny thing that adds, fuel to the flames of the conspiracy theories and whatnot. Then you have the whole flat earth shit. That's hilarious. You know, the fact that we live on a flat disc and there's like
that's some crazy
a firmament
shit.
over.
But everybody talks about that. What are we going to talk about? The same shit everybody else is talking about? We might as well talk about politics and religion if we're just like going to talk about what everybody else is talking about.
Right.
I mean, the reason people talk about that stuff is because people are interested in it. But
Yeah.
what could I say about flat earth that hasn't been said already? And what could I say about Antarctica that hasn't been said already? And what could I say about politics or anything that hasn't been said? It seems like the best podcasts are when you don't know the subject and you learn something by watching the podcast. Like the person comes on the podcast and they're very interested and you've never considered that before.
Right.
But to have somebody come out and talk about flat earth or Antarctica, we go, not another Antarctica, not another flat earther, It's just like, I mean, that would just be so...
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I would just be phony baloney, at least from my perspective.
I don't know, if I'm scrolling on YouTube and I see something about Antarctica, I click. Even though I've seen plenty of videos on it, I still click on that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the topics or the subject matter. It's more so how you talk about it and what you say. And because it's different person, different perspectives, there's always going to be a slightly different twist on it. And maybe people don't care that it's already been a topic that's been visited many times. It's about how the person sounds when they're talking about it, what their personal perspective on it.
I feel very boring today. Maybe that's why I'm at a loss for words. I just don't know.
Oh, so you quit smoking weed, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty big. It's big news.
Yeah.
So no more joints or anything.
Yeah. Well, I got so excited, about having my little thing happen to me, and maybe like want to stop doing everything.
Sure, yeah.
But now a month has gone by, and
Yeah, you sound great. Back to normal.
I like. I don't know. Maybe I'll get loaded again. Maybe. Yeah.
we were thinking that maybe it was the king roll, the very heavy THC that was causing you to trip up on some of the words you were saying. Maybe
I did notice that when I smoked, I didn't talk as good after the episode I had.
Yeah.
Like I would talk not as good.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I can certainly attest to that. I mean, I feel so much sharper and articulate when I haven't smoked before the podcast versus when I have.
Well, everybody, yeah.
What about releasing a poll for the audience to fill out? We can give a couple of choices of ideas, concepts.
The geriatric poll.
The show.
Well, our demographic as the average viewer is what?
65 and up.
Yeah, our average viewer is near death. We'll change the name to the Near Death Podcast.
That's funny.
If you're not near death, you can't watch. Okay, I'm getting into this now. If you're not near death, you can't watch this podcast. And if you are younger and you're watching it, you're fucking an idiot.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. What kind of person will watch this podcast? Anyway, but you're not old. You're only 30.
That's right, yeah.
30. Man, I would love to be 30.
It was funny on the demographics. We looked at the bar graph and there's like a little sliver. Oh, here's someone between 25 and 35.
And we realized it's Dylan. Our only demographic is Dylan.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah. Well, click subscribe, click like. Yeah, everybody, if you click like, somebody might be fooled into thinking someone likes it. But the people the algorithm is sort of smart, so it realizes who is clicking like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it like tracks all that shit, I imagine.
Yeah. So it recommends us to other near-death.
Other near-death people.
The near-death recommendation factor.
It's Lee Michaels in the near-death experience, right?
Lee Michaels in the near-death experience.
That's great.
I think that's funny. Now I liking it. Whenever we start talking about that kind of crazy shit, I get very happy.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I'm yawning because I'm not getting loaded. I don't even know what to do with myself if I'm not high. Oh, what T-shirt is that?
Oh, this is my fun killer T-shirt with all the famous iconic villains in cinema history.
Fuck, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like this one.
Did you get that one on Hollywood Boulevard? Hollywood Boulevard?
Yep, Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, they have a cool store
there. Is there a store that has all that stuff?
Yeah, it's like a store where they have a combination of like rock shirts and heavy metal shirts and also horror stuff. They kind of all go together in a similar category, yeah. But it's a fun store. Yeah, there's cute girls working
Those
there.
are great looking shirts.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. Some of my favorite villains are on this. Like you got Jason Voorhees. You even have Pinhead from Hellraiser on here. That's another fun franchise about opening a portal to the hell dimension. What else? We got Scream, of course. What else? We got Freddy. Even have Jaws on here, which is pretty cool. I saw that, yeah. And it's kind of rare that you see a shirt with these guys and Jaws and the alien. Like, so that's why I grabbed it, because like, this is rare. You know, you don't see all these guys together.
So now that you've had to dissolve the alien thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you still thrilled by that movie?
Yes, I am.
You saw it twice.
I've seen it twice now. Yeah, I went and saw it again.
Was it better the second time?
Yeah, I liked it even better the second time. Yeah, there's little stuff that you pick up on that you might have missed seeing the first time. You know, you're busy absorbing everything, but then you go back and watch it again and you say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm seeing these connections more clearly now. And the one issue I had was some of the CGI on one of the androids' face was a little weird, but then I watched it again. It didn't really bother me as much. I thought that the excitement was great. The creatures looked great.
How did the audience like it?
Yeah, I think the people liked it. There was a lot of screams, you know, from the funny jump scares that you get, and there's a cool twist at the end where you see this abomination come to fruition, and it's cool. Yeah, you have the alien, right? The main villain of the franchise. He's in there. But then at the end, they give you a little extra something, you know, besides the alien to worry about, which I kind of liked. You know, they've done that before, but it was really effective, I think, in this one. It just looks so
Wow.
badass.
I want to see it when it comes on.
Oh yeah, you'll like it a lot. I really like it. It's definitely, I would say, top 3: the Aliens, and the new Alien Romulus. Like those are freaking great. And they're all closely related because it takes place after the first Alien. Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll love it for sure. There's some cool gooey stuff. There's some cocoon shit. There's egg shit. There's fetus shit. There's slimy shit. There's acid, blood. It's all you could ask for.
There you have it.
Yeah, I think horror is a lot of fun because I believe that films are meant to thrill you and to shock and amaze you. You know. And I like that. If it's done tastefully and fantastically, you know, I like supernatural horror stuff. Some of the more realistic stuff is a little too disturbing, you know, like kidnappers and real life psychos and serial killers. I prefer more fantastical stuff like zombies, demons, ghosts, you know, that type of shit. Aliens, creatures. A lot of fun, right?
I was thinking, like, I think a lot about, you know, making movies.
Yeah.
And I think about the podcast sort of distracts from that endeavor. Like every day I'm thinking about the podcast.
Sure, yeah.
And I would sort of want to be thinking about making movies.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to have like the both kind of going on
Yeah, like
in your head.
the podcast thing's sort of overwhelming. And we're not even doing any behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
And I'm researching what makes all these successful podcasts.
Yeah.
And they have huge behind the scenes. I mean, they're really busy behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just busy.
Right. Yeah, you got different guys doing different tasks. Like one guy's just doing thumbnails, one guy's doing editing, one guy's doing the
like diarrhea of a CEO.
Yeah.
They said they have 50 people. They have somebody that they do 100 thumbnails for each thing. 100. They test 100 thumbnails.
Wow.
To pick one. Huh. That's shocking. I mean, who has time to do that?
Yeah, that's insane.
They have a person that does that full time, and then they were saying they added a second person to do that. Wow. So they got people working on everything, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
We can't do that. We don't want to do that.
Right.
Like I think, oh yeah, all I want to do all day long is work on the podcast. That sounds dreadful.
Right.
It really does sound dreadful. Maybe. Yeah.
What about your movie, the animated film, the removal?
There's the animated aliens? Film, and then there's the movie Drum Beating.
Yeah, that's right.
My horror movie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Or whatever it is.
You could even start off as a short, you know, just do like a short, like 10-minute film just to get the idea, get the concept down, get the framework there. It's a good starting point.
Beat a homeless person with drumsticks till they're all bloody. And then say, okay, that's a preview. I don't know. Like
the short Black Fog that I produced, it's it's a short film, but it showcases what we're capable of, and it showcases a direction we can go with that and develop it into something further.
That was good.
Feature. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad you liked that one. It came out great.
I didn't know that I could do something that good.
Well, that was shot on Red cameras. You know,
it was?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. I'm pleased how it came out. The director's actually going to be in town today. My friend Judd, he'll be back in town. He's been kind of going around the U.S., visiting friends and family and whatnot.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'll talk to him about that.
Maybe he wants to come on the podcast.
Sure, okay. I can certainly talk to him, yeah. I think he'll be arriving late tonight, so maybe either tomorrow, maybe Thursday.
If he has something he wants to talk about.
Thursday or Friday.
Anyway, you can see the dilemma we're having. It's just like, I don't know.
Well, I gave you my list. That's all I got for now, my suggestions.
Well, maybe we'll stop for today.
Okay.
How long have we been doing this?
25 minutes.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Boy, we really boring podcast today.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, I'm not sure about this. I think we'll be here tomorrow. for the near-death podcast experience. I don't know. I like the kitty. I like the podcast, but I realize that unless we're willing to do the behind-the-scenes work,
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Really grind. Like the people that are doing good are working really hard.
Right. Right.
I don't know if that's me. Anyway, I don't know anything. Okay, everybody. I guess we're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. I hope we didn't bore you too much. Hopefully we'll be more animated tomorrow.
Cool.
Okay, Big Kitty. Sorry I freaked you out today. Dylan.
Great. Good to see you, Lee.
I'll see you later.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Poof.